This is my Stuart Gordon DVD collection. Stuart Gordon is one of my all-time favorite horror directors. What I love about his style is he mixes some dark, bleak comedy in with extreme violence and gore, and he mixes it, in my opinion, the best of any other director in the genre. And his first film that really defined his style was Re-Animator. I mean, what an amazing film to have as your debut. I mean, there is no way he can live up to this film anywhere in his career. Talk about starting with a bang. And this would be the first film he made with producer Charles Band. Most of his films he did early in his career are, of course, for Charles Band. And this is just amazing. If you're a horror fan and you've never seen Re-Animator, go buy it now. And then he followed up with another Charles Band production based on the H.P. Lovecraft story, From Beyond. This is actually the first Stuart Gordon film I ever saw, and I saw it when I was, I had to have been like 6th grade, and of course no 6th grader should be watching this. And it was really bizarre and depraved, and I didn't like it when I was younger, but now as an adult I truly love this film. And I waited for years for this to come out on DVD. I even bought a bootleg of it before the official DVD got released, because I was afraid this would never come out, and thankfully MGM released an unrated director's cut. One of the DVDs I waited the longest for, that's for sure. Then after that, another Charles Band production, Dolls. Now, you might be wondering, he did 2 H.P. Lovecraft films. Why would he want to do a film about killer dolls? Well, he was contractually obligated to. Charles Band basically gave it to him and said, hey, you're doing this script. But you know what? He doesn't act like he didn't want to do it. He truly had fun with this film, and it's probably, arguably, of course, my favorite killer doll or dolls movies I've ever seen. It's highly enjoyable, and it's more tame than, of course, his Re-Animator and From Beyond films, but it still has quite a bit of blood, and it definitely will scare kids, so I really enjoy this movie a lot. Then he made a science fiction film. Much like his partner in crime, John Carpenter, he directed a lot of science fiction films in his career, as well as horror, though many people don't usually talk about his science fiction films. This was another Charles Band production. This movie was actually made when Empire Pictures went under. The budget cost so much for this that Empire Pictures had to fold. And it's about giant people fighting in giant robots. A kid's dream come true. The film is a little unfocused because Stuart Gordon wanted to make a film for kids, where the scriptwriter and writer of the story wanted to make a film for adults, and it's a little unfocused because of that. But it's an enjoyable, ultra cheesy, giant robot film that fight each other. So any kid's gonna like that, and the kid in me really likes this movie. And it was followed by sequel, Robot Wars, but Stuart Gordon didn't direct a sequel. Again, Re-Animator was followed by 2 sequels. He's actually never directed a sequel in his career, which is strange enough. Then I got a film of his from a Full Moon box set, The Pit and the Pendulum. This, a Charles Band production. After the collapse of Empire Pictures, Charles Band formed Full Moon Pictures, and Stuart Gordon still directed plenty of films for him. And Pit and the Pendulum was one of the first under the new Full Moon banner, and it is actually one of Full Moon's best films. If you're expecting like a remake of the Vincent Price Pit and the Pendulum, this is a lot different. Even though it's based on the Edgar Allan Poe story, it has more in common with movies like Mark of the Devil and Witchfinder General. As Lance Henriksen, yes, they actually got a big name star in it, plays a member of the Spanish Inquisition going around killing people that are witches. And this is actually a very good film, surprisingly. And even with its low budget. So that's a highly, if you can get your hands on it, it's a little tough to find this film. I got mine in a very big box set, so it is out there, but usually you can only get it in box sets. After that, he did a non-Charles Band production, Fortress, a futuristic action film with Christopher Lambert, and this is a really, really good movie. Surprisingly, he got the job from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger was supposed to star in it, and he ended up having to back out. And he recommended to the production company that Stuart Gordon should direct, because Arnold Schwarzenegger's body double played a zombie in Re-Animator, and Schwarzenegger saw it and loved the film. And that's how Stuart Gordon got to make this in Australia, and it is really, really enjoyable. A lot of people don't even realize he directed this, but if you'd watch it, it's definitely a Stuart Gordon film. It has a lot of his stylistic humor and over-the-top violence, and definitely one of the best films in his career. And then he followed up with another Charles Band film here. I got it in another box set, Castle Freak. He goes from, it was inspired by an H.P. Lovecraft story, but very loosely. He goes for a pseudo-documentary style, and you know what? I really like this movie. Some critics really hated it, saying this movie deserved to kill off Full Moon Pictures. I don't think so. I think it's actually one of Full Moon's better movies. And it's really, less humor. It's more serious, more dark. Definitely has less humor, but a really good Stuart Gordon film. Then I have, the last film I have of his is another science fiction film, Space Truckers. I know it sounds bad. The title, and you're like, it looks like it came out about the same time as the Lost in Space theatrical film, and they're trying to rip off the logo of that. But surprisingly, this is very enjoyable science fiction comedy film. Dennis Hopper and Stephen Dorff. It's got a great cast and great tongue-in-cheek humor, and this really proves that Stuart Gordon is a master of science fiction as well as a master of horror. His science fiction films deserve more credit, and this is just further proves it. So again, another very good film by Stuart Gordon. That's all I have of him. I really do need to get a film of his, Dagon, based on an H.P. Lovecraft story. I've seen it about 3 times, so that's why I keep putting it off. But that's an excellent movie that came out in the early 2000s. And his newer films, though, he changed his style. They're more mature, but I just find them not as enjoyable. But that is my Stuart Gordon collection.